Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, March 9th. Sorry about that song. I love that song, and it just kills me when I play it badly, which I always do. Sorry about that. We're not here for your entertainment. That's my excuse. Anyways, I hope everything's going well out there in the world. We are studentloanjustice.org. We are the oldest, largest, first, and really only true grassroots group in the nation fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. We've got over 1.4 million members, or I'm going to say right around 1.4 million members, although that's meaningless unless a significant percentage of our members are actually doing things. If even 10% of our members were actually fighting with us, we would have the student loan problem solved years ago. Welcome to my world. But it's true, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a huge muscle to flex. I hope that you will spread the word about this group. If there was another group out there actually fighting for the actual, not fake pretend solution to student loans, I would join that group. But that group is us. Fortunately or unfortunately, you cannot unhear that. Couple of announcements. This is a fundraising thing, guys, but I got to bring it up top. I have to say, I'm thrilled to report that in the first 24 hours of our fundraiser to replace the broken down student loan justice van, my van, I'm thrilled to report that we've raised over $1,300. I think we're close to $1,400 in the very first day, which literally blows my mind. So I am just stunned and thrilled to be able to report that. We need to raise around $6,000, guys, for this whole thing. So please, would you please help us build on this momentum that we have and throw something in? Sounds like a daunting deal, but I actually did the numbers. And if 300 people donated $20, that would get us there. And we're already way over 10% of the way there now. I don't know what percentage we are, but we're like getting close to 20% there now, I think, or something. Yeah, we're over 20% of the way there. That's in the first day, guys. So I am stunned, but I'm actually maybe not stunned. We've driven tens of thousands, probably 30, if not 40, probably over 40,000 miles across the country in the first 18 years of our existence. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the size of our group, our credibility, our strength, our, I guess, visibility or something, our fame or like well-knownness is 10 times greater today than it was the last time we did this trip 4 years ago. So I'm looking at this as our last trip, guys. That's exactly how I look at what we have to do this summer. We're gonna have to go to Iowa. We're gonna have to go to South Carolina. We're gonna have to go to Texas. We probably want to go to Arizona. We want to go to Michigan, Vermont. We've got a lot of driving to do, guys. And we've just got to have a working, halfway decent, sleepable van. So you can see the link there. It's a GoFundMe thing right there. If you appreciate this group, and I hope you do, and I hope that we've earned your trust and you see how hard we work. And more importantly, you've seen all that we got done, like that Biden cancellation, that all truly started on this group right here. It was the people on our group that got our petition rocking to over 1 million signatures, got that whole concept launched into the public conversation. It was this group that is responsible for all the bankruptcy legislation that we've seen, or certainly in the past 4 years, but even before that. Going back to Hillary Clinton's Student Borrower Bill of Rights, S511, back in 2007, believe it or not. That all started with this group, guys. I kid you not. So for those of you who have been on the group for a while, the diehards, you know I salute you, and you have a lot to be proud of. But I have to be honest, guys, the political reality is that it is going to be a very tough year for us because the Democrats betrayed us last session. We're a fiercely nonpartisan group, guys. Let me just say that from the get-go. Whatever your political stripes are, Republican, Independent, Libertarian, like Zen, Buddhist, or like whatever your stripes may be, you are very welcome on this group right here. So we're fiercely nonpartisan, but we are partisan aware, and I have to tell you the truth, and that is that the Democrats totally screwed us last session in choosing not to return constitutional bankruptcy rights to student loans. They had a great bill. It was bipartisan. At the last minute, the colleges, including the HBCUs, I might add, I'm very sorry to have to report that because African Americans are hurt so badly by these loans. But the colleges stood up, and the Democrats chose to fight for the colleges over us. That's pretty much what happened. Very sorry to have to say that. Hey, if you have any questions or comments, throw them out right now. And if I can see them on Twitter or Facebook, I will gladly read them aloud on air. One quick action item that we have going right now, guys, the most important thing that we have going right now. Well, actually 2 things. Number 1, we're asking everyone to get a letter to the editor published in your local paper and call very strongly for the return of bankruptcy protections to student loans, the cancellation of all federally owned student loans by executive order, or both, or either, whatever. Yeah, just do that. Call for those 2 things, one or both or either, and get it published in your local paper and send us the link so that we can brag about it. We want to get these letters published in damn near every newspaper in the country. So far, we've gotten like, I want to say 13 or 14 done. And by the way, I am happy to report, hopefully we'll be getting mine published either tomorrow or the next day in a local newspaper that I'm not going to say what it is until after it publishes. Please do that. Second thing, get us into a meeting with both of your senators and your member of Congress. We can do most or all of the talking, but you as a constituent have the power to make that meeting happen. It's early on in this congressional session. Right now is when the opening moves on the chessboard are happening. This is where we really have to fight hardest if we want to get good results down the road, down the proverbial road and the actual road. I'm kidding. Get us into a conference with both of your senators and your House rep. My name is Alan Collins. My phone number is 202-594-1120. Founder of studentloanjustice.org. My email is alan, ALAN, at studentloanjustice.org. Bring me onto the meeting if you don't feel comfortable. Most people don't. And I'm very happy to do all the hard, heavy lifting for you. But it all starts with you. And that's the thing about this group, guys, is nothing happens unless you sitting there make it happen. We're not here for your entertainment, as I said at the top. If you came here for the piano playing, you have far deeper troubles than student loans. But no, guys, this is a working, fighting group. And I think the people out there on this group, and I'm looking for your comments now, by the way, they will tell you it feels good to fight this fight. The Constitution is on our side. Founding fathers are on our side. So that's two things, okay? Get a letter to your editor published and get us in a phone conference with both of your senators and your congressmen. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a slightly different take on things. I'll try and keep this short, but there's a couple of reasons to look at this thing optimistically. We tend to be our hardest critics, and we are the hardest critics on everything involving the federal student loan program. That Joe Biden student loan cancellation, we should be clinking the champagne because that started with us. We're not. Biden's student loan cancellation gimmick is feckless and lame, and it sucks. And more than that, the thing about bankruptcy, the new bankruptcy process, that also started, I kid you not, with this group. When I was in Iowa 4 years ago, I was chewing or jawboning Greg Murphy, Biden's student loan campaign manager in Iowa. And I was also jawboning Elizabeth Warren and Dick Durbin. So two things happened. And this is thanks to a reporter named Mo Tikasik. Mo Tikasik wrote a great article that compelled Elizabeth Warren to bring bankruptcy into her presidential agenda. And then we on this group were instrumental in getting the Biden people to start thinking about student loan, about not opposing student loan borrowers in bankruptcy court. So that new bankruptcy process that we heard about a few months ago, the genesis of that was, again, this group right here. Like, if you're new to the group, I don't think you realize quite how important this group is. But it's true. But having said that, like Biden's student loan cancellation, what they rolled out wasn't an end to opposing student loan borrowers in bankruptcy. No. What they did was really sneaky and dirty. It was a dirty trick. The Department of Education essentially hijacked the whole undue hardship determination process so that they are now, for all intents and purposes, the final judge and jury as to whether you qualify for undue hardship or not. So we wrote a scathing article about that fucking bait and switch that they pulled on us. And I should also report, it's important to note that the Undersecretary of Education, James Cavall, sent me a note apologizing. Well, no, he didn't actually apologize. He said, "I'm sorry that you're disappointed." And he said, we can't change the law. We have to follow the law. And yeah. Okay, James. And nothing personal against James. I think he's generally a good guy. We've known him for many years. But it was not what we were expecting. And frankly, it has all the hallmarks of yet another trick. However, this is glass half full night, ladies and gentlemen. And so there's a couple of things that you should realize that just as a practical matter really have actually changed for student loan borrowers. And we claim credit for certainly half of those things. The first thing is, as shitty as the public service loan forgiveness program is, I have to acknowledge that a few people, not all, not even close to all, not even 10% of the people who thought they were getting public service actually are getting their loans canceled now. So we've had, I'd say, more than several at this point. I think 4, if not 5 people on our group, maybe 6 even, who have actually gotten their loans canceled through the public service loan forgiveness, the waiver, the revised public service loan forgiveness program, including, well, I'm not going to mention any names, but quite a few of our members, I'd say 5 to 6 of our members. And so I would like to claim a little bit of credit for that. I don't think we deserve a whole lot of credit, though. Quite frankly, I think it was the teachers union that really made that whole thing happen the most. Although we deserve some credit. But I'd be lying if I said we deserve most or even half or even a third of the credit. Probably not that super credit worthy for us. Although people like Lisa Ansel and our members who fought very hard in public comment and other ways, we certainly had an effect. So there's that. Now the other thing that we take most, if not most, credit for is, unfortunately or fortunately, that the new bankruptcy process. Now, I just got through totally dragging it through the mud and tearing it to shit. However, and it really, I'm very reluctant to say nice things about anything the Department of Education does. It's just not in my nature, because I've seen how they act and how they are, and they're just disgusting, vile creatures. But I will say, guys, this new bankruptcy process offers some legitimate hope for some people. Now, here's the kicker. You still have to file for bankruptcy. And the way the new process works is this. Instead of going to a judge pleading undue hardship against an adversary, now you fill out an attestation form. You send it to the Department of Education, and they, and probably their contractors, little snakes, evil, vile people, they will review your attestation form and then determine before you go before the judge whether they would oppose your bankruptcy, your undue hardship petition or not. So that's kind of handy. That's kind of useful. But, and here's the caveat. So if you're listening to me, you're wondering, well, does that mean I should file for bankruptcy? No, I don't think it does at all. I don't think anybody should rush out and file for bankruptcy because they think they now can get their loans discharged. However, if you were going to file for bankruptcy anyways, like you're just neck deep or eyeball deep in other debts, and you were pretty much going to file anyways, then this is a good thing for you. At least you now have the shot to fill out this attestation form and see whether they would oppose you in an adversarial proceeding or not, essentially. So you can at least get an answer about your student loans without having to pay another $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000+ to a lawyer to take you through this very expensive adversarial proceeding. So I hope that makes sense. The gist of it is, if you were going to file for bankruptcy anyways, or if you recently filed for bankruptcy already, and you can reopen and append your bankruptcy filing, then this new bankruptcy process actually is very helpful. Very helpful. I don't know of any cost associated with turning in that attestation form. Frankly, I'm not even sure if they've received even one form yet. I don't know. I think they're just rolling it out now. I'll ask James about that and see where they're at. But it's not nothing. And 150,000 people per year file bankruptcy who have student loans anyways. So I would expect that at least 125, 30, 45, 50,000 people, or all of them, will end up filling out these attestation forms and seeing what results. So, it was a stab in the back what they did. What they should have done was simply stopped opposing all federal student loan borrowers in bankruptcy court. That's what they should have done. They didn't do that. But there's a little bit of a silver lining in this cloud. So I hope that's clear. And I hope if you find that you actually wind up getting relief through bankruptcy that you were going to file for anyways, pretty much, that if you do get your student loans discharged that way, boom, baby, that started with us. Like, that's a major feather in our cap. It's not nearly enough, though. Not even close to nearly enough, guys. It's my guess is that they will still deny the overwhelming majority of borrowers this undue hardship determination. That's my guess. I hope I'm wrong. But that's my guess. I think they may let a few through that maybe otherwise wouldn't have gotten through. So maybe instead of like only 15 people or something getting partial relief on their student loans in bankruptcy or full relief, maybe it'll go from 15 to like, I don't know, 1,000 or something. So that's kind of what my expectation is. But we'll just have to see how it all shakes out. All right, guys, sorry for lagging. I'm looking for your comments right now. Hopefully I can find them. So we didn't get nothing done last year, right? And man, we were so close on actually getting bankruptcy back. So close. You know, if we would have had even 5 or 10%, that's 1 or 2 out of 20 people on this group actually fighting with us, like actually doing our daily actions, actually writing letters to the editors, actually getting us in phone conferences with their senators and their congressmen, I think we would have solved this problem, guys. Like, that's how close we are. So this year is going to be tougher than last year was, guys. This problem, guys. And it all starts with you. This is a working, fighting group. You can't come here, eat popcorn, and expect me or Aaron or Joanna or any of the other people on, or Jackie. And by the way, a badge of honor goes out to Jackie A. Braun. I was bragging on her last night. She literally got 8 different letters to the editor published all over Texas and even nationally. I am proud to say that Jackie was permanently banned from Twitter today. They didn't give her any reason, and this happens more often than I care to even brag about. But this happens to our members. So are we being shadow banned? Looks like it to me, which is really odd because our account never gets banned or even warned or anything or suspended, nothing. But people who retweet our stuff, all of a sudden they get suspended, and in Jackie's case, like permanently banned. Like, what is that? That's just fucking stupid deep state nonsense. Drives me nuts, guys. You know, I feel like what's that Viking legend of like, or maybe it's a Greek legend where like it has to do with Thor, but Thor goes and like he has a drinking contest where he has to drink out of this horn. He drinks and he drinks and he drinks. He can't quite drink it all. And it turns out the ocean was actually in that horn or something. I think there's 2 different versions of that contest. And there's like some other parts of it too. But yeah, that's what it feels like sometimes with us and the various social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook. It's like, why are we not blowing up more than you would think that we would? I don't know. It seems like I feel like both of our hands are tied behind our back. And so that's true, guys. Hey, Joanna Kern says, no, we are here to win, not for your entertainment. Thank you, Joanna. You know, Joanna does our daily actions every single freaking day. She is probably our most solid member in many ways. And you can forgive Joanna for getting a little angry at all the people on this group who sit and watch and wait and worry and wring their hands and wonder what's going to happen and read Forbes fucking magazine, pardon my French, and do nothing and cheerlead and, you know, eat popcorn and, you know, yeah, you go, Joanna. You go, Joanna Kearns. And hey, while you're up, can you get me a piece of pizza too? You know, that's kind of what it is. And so you should forgive Joanna for being a little angry about that. And, you know, I think most of the diehards on this group feel the same way. It's time for you to get your knuckles a little bloody and a little muddy in this fight. A little muddy, little bloody. You're not better than us, by the way. I take a backseat to no one. We actually have Harvard people in this group. If that matters to you. Not that means meaningless to me. But I'm just saying, you're not better than us. You can't prom queen it through this fight and expect that anybody else is going to pull your weight for you. That's not how it works. It's never worked that way. It doesn't work like that now, and it never will work that way. As long as the wallflowers remain silent on the sidelines, we will be buried. And if you thought last year was difficult for us, and it was, this year is going to be twice as difficult. So you better get off your ass and you'd better start helping us, because we will be screwed for the rest of our lives unless you do. That's a very real possibility. So think about that. And I think Joanna and Jackie and many others would tell you it feels very good to fight this fight. Aaron Root, for example, has been fighting with us for many years. I think I saw a comment from Aaron earlier, and I'm probably not going to be able to get to all your comments. Joanna asks, would you consider coming to the state of Florida, one of the restates? I have been through the state of Florida 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, Joanna. From Miami to Jacksonville to what is that? Apalachicola? No. Whatever that little thing is on the Panhandle. It's like right next to Alabama. I've been all through Florida, and yes, I would love to come back to Florida. Florida is a very important state. $120 billion in student loan debt in Florida. Versus a state budget of only $80 million. People like Matt Gaetz should be on our side. Actually, believe it or not, I think Matt Gaetz is. Again, whatever you think about Matt Gaetz, and whether you're a Democrat or Republican or you hate both parties like I do, we've got to push these people. And if you hate them, then push them even harder and bury your teeth and put your back into it if you hate them. Make them feel your pain. That's the way we approach this problem, guys. That's the way you should be. We got to be tough. We've got to fight our way above the noise, above the din. Because remember, guys, this is $1 trillion problem, and we have a lot of very well-resourced, very well-connected, media-savvy, disgusting individuals, swamp creatures who are ambitiously and eagerly and with strength fighting against us. So they are easily defeated in public conversation, but they're still there. So we kind of have to show up in order to win, right? So yes, Joanna, I'd be thrilled to come back to Florida. In fact, I would be stunned if I didn't make it back to Florida this summer and fall as we make our way through the campaign battleground states. Texas goes without saying. I absolutely will be through Texas. We've got a friend in Texas too, John Cornyn, Republican. I kid you not. So historically, the Republicans have kind of been the bad cop, and the Democrats have kind of been the good cop. So it's all kind of a partisan parlor trick, in my opinion. But historically, the Republicans have tended to oppose us. So I'm thrilled to say that we have a good friend in John Cornyn in the Senate there. Very bad guy in Ted Cruz, I might say. There's some very bad people in Texas that we have to get through to. The good news about Texas, it's not good news. It's news that's important, that speaks to our strength, is that the people of Texas owe collectively $141 billion with a B, $141 billion in mostly federal student loan debt. The state of Texas has been completely hamstrung and hijacked by the federal government and by the college that profit from this loan scam. And it is a scam. So the people of Texas should be on our side. This is like nearly 4 million people in the state of Texas and probably 3.8 million of those people were never going to be able to pay their loans, even before the pandemic. So nationally, something like 38 million people were never going to be able to repay their federal student loans, even before the pandemic. And if you count private student loan borrowers, we're talking about 42, if not 3 or 4 million people in the country who are freaking out about their student loans, both public and private. That's nearly enough people to elect a president outright, guys. Think about that. Think about how strong we could and should be. So, all right, guys, I've blathered on for a little longer than I was thinking. We certainly got their attention now, though, Aaron. I think this next trip, I foresee it as our final trip. I don't see that there will be a need after we make this final summer, fall, and a little bit beyond. We'll probably go through the primaries, if we have to, we'll go all the way through to the next presidential election. I hope it doesn't go that far, but I can't tell the future. All I know is that I hope and expect and have every reason to believe that this will finally be the last time we need to travel the country in pursuit of student loan justice. I think that we're actually going to solve the problem on this next go around, guys. I'm quietly confident, maybe not too quietly, but Oh, Aaron Root is announcing that he just got a letter to the editor accepted for publication on Sunday. I'm not going to say the name of the newspaper. You should delete that, Aaron. I don't like to say the names of stuff that we're doing stuff with, like the media, before it comes out, just because we've been snake bit by the bad guys in the past. But okay, guys, so there you have it. That's what's going on tonight. I'm looking forward to this summer. If I tried to. And I'm sitting here in a frozen cabin, basically in the Northwoods, Wisconsin right now. I think we're going to get another 8 or 10 inches of snow tonight. So, so I can dream, can't I? I can't wait for summer, guys. But all that stuff depends on us getting this van too. So remember that. So if you appreciate this group, and you see the value in getting us back on the road, plus so I can go into town to the YMCA and get a shower and stuff. Like, I'm not kidding, guys. We're in essentially what amounts to a cabin here in the woods. Please pitch in for this GoFundMe deal. It all counts. So, okay, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Keep fighting, guys, and I hope that you're feeling the love and feeling the gathering storm that we are. You have no idea how strong we can be. You have no idea how important you sitting there can be. It only takes one person to have the right call with the right person that has the right connection to the right governor, the right senator, the right member of Congress, the right reporter, the right, who knows. Only takes one person to move absolute mountains. And this is a huge mountain. So it only takes one well-placed push to finally get, after 18 years of trying, actual student loan justice. I mean that with all my heart, guys. It's very important that we do this. So, all right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck. Again, I want to just a quick shout out to my recently passed away Uncle John Price in Tacoma, Washington. Really kind of bummed about that whole thing, but I love you, John. Rest in peace. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Good luck. Godspeed in doing your actions for us, in doing your fight with us. God bless everyone.